Hi guys, welcome to Finesse Gaming. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. So today's video, as you might have realized by all the lights around me, we're going to do a bit of a review of certain lights that I've picked up actually in the Black Friday sales. And that is the Neewer or Neewer, I don't know how you pronounce it, I think it's Neewer lights behind me here. This is the Rolano LED light, and I also use the Elgato key light Air, which is behind the monitors. So we're going to do basically a review over the three different ones and see what they're good for, what they're not good for, what features they have, and whether or not I would buy them again. So yeah, if you're looking for lighting for streaming, for YouTube videos, for office, maybe if you're doing working from home and you're doing conference calls and things like that, you need a bit of lighting, this is going to be the video for you. I'm going to go over as much as I can. I hope you enjoy it. Let's go. Okay, let's begin with some of the features then of these different lights. So we'll start with the key light Air, the Elgato key light Air, because I think that's the one that most people will recognize and know about. So this one is a little bit different to the other two in the fact that it needs to be plugged into the mains. The other two are not. So this is a fixed light, really. It doesn't really move, obviously. The base for it is quite heavy as well, so the materials and the quality of this light are very good. The light itself is good. It has 80 premium LEDs inside of it, so that's pretty decent. It's not as many, I will say, as this one, which is actually a little bit smaller. This one has 104 LED lights. The Elgato does have a wide range of color though, going from 2900 to 7000K, so it has a bigger range than the other two. The Elgato has a multi-layer construction and it does diffuse the light incredibly well. The light, as you can see here, the LED lights are on the outside of the actual frame and they face inwards instead of at you. So it's not very harsh at all on your eyes. It looks incredibly good and the diffusion is one of the best that you can get. And also, I suppose it's specifically designed for streaming with the software that it comes with obviously the integration with the Stream Deck if you have one, and other Elgato equipment. You can use your phone as well to control it. So it's specifically designed for streaming, especially because it's plugged into the mains, so it's not going to go off at all. So if you're going to stream, the Elgato is a fantastic one. It is the most expensive by quite a long way. It's £130 or £129. It's exactly the same in dollars, and that's quite a lot more than the other two. Okay, next let's go over this one, the Relano LED light. So this has 104 LEDs. So this is the same as the Elgato in the way that it's diffused. You can't see any LED lights, little individual ones poking through. So it's just one full light towards your face and it looks fantastic. It's very, very good. It is very bright, as you can probably tell. And this is actually the lowest setting that you can get it on, which is brighter than the Elgato. The Elgato can go a little bit lower than this one can. So this goes down to 3200 and it goes up to 5600 in its color range. So it doesn't have quite the same range as the Elgato, but if you're going to be happy with it kind of sticking in those ranges, then it's a very, very good one. I will explain more features in a second. And this one also doesn't come with a stand. It comes just as it is, so you will need to get a stand for it, whether that be a tripod or just one of these little like Octopus stands. You'll have to get one of them unless you're going to attach it to your camera, which is what this one can do. It's a big feature of it. It is battery operated, so you can probably see around the back we have the two little knobs on either side. They can change the light, so we've got warm white and we've got the white light, and we have the USB on the side right there to charge it up. So it has probably about an hour and a half to 2 hours worth of battery life. I haven't actually charged this one yet. I've had it for well over a week and it's been very, very good. So I use it on the lowest setting. If I show you quickly, it can go up quite high. So this is going the highest setting, so you can see it does go bright. That's probably blinding you, but I do apologize. But yeah, we can literally use this on the lowest setting, which is there, and that's plenty bright enough. It's very, very good. So the main features with this one then is that it is battery operated. You can use this with your phone or your camera. It will attach to it. It has a hot shoe mount, so it can attach onto a tripod camera, like I said, or you can take it out and use it with your iPhone if you buy a special attachment that will allow it to attach to that. But generally, I would use this with a small little tripod. If you want to take it out somewhere, this is fantastic for photography. It's fantastic for doing videos outside. It's fantastic for just making YouTube videos, for example, if you're only going to make them for less than 2 hours. Brilliant. These things are great. This one is actually so good as a price range. I would buy more of them. So this one was at full price, £36. I bought it on the Amazon Black Friday sales for £22. And I can't fault it. It is fantastic for what it is. So like I said, it's the Rolano LED light. It's got 104 little LED lights in it, which is more than the Elgato, and it is a brilliant little LED light. And if you are enjoying this video, guys, please make sure you drop that like, hit that subscribe button, and turn notifications on. Support's hugely appreciated, and it really, really does help this channel. And also, just as a reminder, you will find me streaming on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube now, and links will be in the description below if you want to come and check them out. And next, we have the ones behind me. So these are the Neewer, I think they're called, and they come in as a pair, which is great. And they're only £44 at full price. I bought them on the sale at £24. So again, an amazing price for those if you want to go and pick something up, even at the full price of £44. For these two lights, it is fantastic. So these two, like I said, come as a pair, but they are USB as a connection, but you will need to actually buy or get a USB plug. They do recommend plugging them in because they draw so much energy rather than putting them into a USB port in the PC, laptop, or a power bank. So they still need to be plugged into the mains ideally, and they have the least amount of LED lights than any of the other two. So they have 66 LED lights. The Elgato had 80 and this one has 104. So they are not maybe as bright as the other two. They do, however, come with the stands there that come with them. They are adjustable, so they are height adjustable, which is great. I will say they're not the best stands, so they are quite flimsy stand. They're not the best stands in the world, but they're okay. If you're not going to use them at this height, which is at its fullest height, then they're going to be fine. If you're going to use them a little shorter, but at their fullest height, you just got to be careful not to hit them. They have got on the wire a little adjustability, so you can actually change the brightness on the wire itself. And unlike these two, which come with a diffuser already in there, these come with little cards that I have here. So these come with them, and you have different colors. So you have a white diffuser that goes in there, and then you'll have a yellow card, a blue, and a red if you want to change the colors. And they do look good. At this moment in time, the red and the blue are in there, and this is the yellow one. So that's what the three would look like, and they do look very good. But I will say they're not going to be looking the best at this moment in time facing the camera. I actually think they're going to be used, if you're going to use them with these colors, in a different way, which I'll show you in a second. But these things are going to be used in probably a different way to this and the Elgato. So the Elgato is specifically streaming. This can be has multiple uses. You can use it for YouTube videos, outdoor photography, outdoor videos, because you don't need to plug it in. These are going to be a little bit different, especially when there's two of them. So if you're going to do kind of video reviews, which is what I've bought them for, you can face both of them down onto a desk and illuminate whatever it is you're reviewing. You can also have them bouncing light, and you can change the color of the room. You can bounce it off the walls is the best bet. So let's go ahead and do that now so we can see what that might look like if you wanted to do it. Okay, so just so we can see this is the blue at its brightest. And although that doesn't look very good looking at the camera, we could actually use it and bounce light off a wall. So we can change kind of the look of a room a little bit by doing this. If we did the same to the red. Okay, so you can see we've changed the complete look of the room basically by bouncing the light off these walls. This is at its brightest, which you probably wouldn't want. You would want it a little bit quieter than that. But I think that's what these are going to be mainly used for, especially with those diffusers and the color cards. If you're going to use them like that, use it in this way to just get more light into the room and just bounce a bit of color off different walls. If you're going to use them with just the standard diffuser in it, they're probably not as good, I would have said, as this one or the Elgato, but they're still going to be pretty good. And the fact you get two of them, you can face one on either side of you, which is going to be a bit of a benefit as instead of buying, well, two of whatever these. The Elgato is much better than this one, obviously, because this will only last 2 hours. So if you do stream and you want to use this, you've only got 2 hours worth really of battery life in it. You'd be lucky to get a bit more. Like I said, I haven't needed to get more because I have quite good lighting, so this is at its lowest. But if you're going to put this light in a little bit higher, up to about 2 hours, I've currently probably got this at about 4 hours. So maybe if you're going to use this at a lower lighting, you might be able to get away with 4, maybe even 5 hours. But yeah, if you want it to be longer than that and guaranteed to be longer than that, you do need to get one of these two. But Elgato is probably going to be the one to go for. And we can see here the height range between the lowest setting on the Neewer ones and the highest, and you can see it's quite a big difference. Both here are mounted onto the desk. And again, you've got a good range of height, so you've got multiple different uses for these ones. And this Rolano one I've got here is actually a tripod made by Relano as well that they have sent me, and that is like a little Octopus one, and this is fantastic. It's a little bit maybe heavier than what I would prefer to go out, somewhere with it, using it for photography, but it's fantastic if you're going to use it in office. I mean, it isn't that heavy, but it's a bit too heavy than what I would want. But generally, if you've got a mount on your camera, stick this on the top of it and it will be brilliant for lighting up anything you do outside. Okay, so we've turned the lights down a little bit now behind me, and I've changed this one to a yellow instead of the red, and you can see it kind of just throws in a bit of a different look to the room. Again, you can play around with these and just make different lighting effects. You can bounce them off different walls in different directions and make all sorts of different effects with them. But I think that's what they're actually going to be mainly used for, that and product reviews. I can't see many people using these for streaming because they're too small. I suppose they don't have as many LED lights in them, and they're not as well diffused with a white screen. So I will just show you it quickly if I take off the yellow. So the light behind me now is actually these two lights here, basically being at a kind of a mid-range on their settings, and you can see it kind of drowns out the entire background. It may be making me stand out a little bit more, but I think if they're going to be in front of you, facing you, it will drown you out a little bit. They don't quite go low enough and as well as the key light does, and as well as this one does. So the key light really, if you're streaming, is going to be the best one. If you're going to make a light just for streaming, the key light air or the key light is going to be the best ones you can get. If you want one then for going outdoors and you want it for uses with your phone, with your camera, with videos that you do for maybe outdoor YouTube videos or anything, or vlogging or in real life videos, then this one is going to be fantastic. I would have thought this one would be very, very hard to beat because it is incredibly good. You've got this light, and I haven't showed you this yet, but if we go off that and go onto the warm light, you have this effect, which doesn't look good if you point straight at your face, but if we face it over there somewhere, it just adds a bit of warmth into the shot, which is quite nice. So again, you have that option with it. It does have a full range of both colors. It is really, really good, really easy to use. Those two little dials on the back, if I can find them, do kind of make it very bright, as you can see, or all the way off. So really, really easy to use. So this one is highly recommended if you're going to use it for that. If you want a battery operated light, an LED light, this one is fantastic. £36 full price. 22 is what I bought it for, but if you can buy it for somewhere in the 20s, you won't go wrong. And these Neewer ones, like I've said, I think are going to be very useful for changing the look of your stream or your YouTube videos, or maybe just the room that you make conference calls or work in. It will just add a bit of background lighting. Even if you just use it on the standard white light with a diffuser, it's still going to add a little bit of texture to the background and separate you from the background a little bit. But I think generally they're just going to add a bit of colour in. They are going to be good if you don't want to spend £130 on a key light air. These are 45, you do get two of them. So to start with, they could be good for going behind the monitors, but I think the others are going to be a little bit better just because generally they've got more range of light and they're designed for that. And of course, the other benefit with these is they do come with a stand that comes with it, which isn't bad if you're not going to use it at the height they're at right now, which is quite high, because at this height it is a little bit flimsy and it does kind of move about a little bit. Also having the adjustability of the brightness and the on-off switch on the main cable as well is... Okay, so here we can see the three lights next to each other. As you can see, the key light air is the actual biggest one out of the three, and it's the different shape to the other two as well. The Rolano then is the next biggest. That's a little bit bigger than the Neewer ones, which is the smallest light out of the three. And as you can see, the diffusion here is on all three of them. The diffusion cover is on the Neewer one, and that one just isn't quite as good as the other two. It doesn't diffuse light quite as well. But all three of them do look incredible. They all do the job very well, all maybe for a slightly different purpose, I would have said. But yeah, all of them are very, very good. And all of them will certainly help light up a darker space or an office if you need them to. Okay, so if we were to give them an overall rating, the Elgato Key Light Air back there, really for streaming, I have to say, is probably 10 out of 10, or at least 9 out of 10. It is very, very good. It's specifically designed for streaming. The software that comes with it, everything that comes with it is fantastic. It's easy to use. If you have a Stream Deck, it's literally just the best. So if you're going to do it for streaming, fantastic. But this one also, I would probably have to give it a 10. Like, its versatility, it's the amount of uses it has are fantastic. Probably isn't for streaming, but for everything else, for YouTube videos, pictures, like I said, anything else that you want to use it for, fantastic. This is really, really good and at a very, very good price. By far the most expensive is the Elgato. This is the cheapest at full price and on sale as well. And the Elgato, I will say, very rarely goes on sale because it's in demand so much. And then the two behind me, again, it's a completely different use, I would have said, but for what they do, pretty much 9 9.5 to 10 out of 10. They are very good at creating color. You do have 2 of them. They come with a stand. Really, really good. You've got 3 different colors you can choose from. It comes with 2 of each of them, so you can use them on both if you wanted to. And you have the diffuser that comes in there as well. You do have to use the color ones with the diffuser, which is fine. So yeah, really good. I have to say they're all fantastic lights. If you want to get them, this one is the one that can go outdoors without any plug-in. Both of the other 2, although this is USB, both have to be plugged into the mains because this does draw quite a bit of power. So yeah, there we have it, guys. If you have any questions about any of these lights, please drop them in the comment section below and I will attempt to answer them. And if you did like this video, make sure you do drop that like, hit that subscribe button and turn notifications on. Support's hugely appreciated and it really does help this channel. And also you'll find me streaming on Twitch, Facebook and now YouTube. All links will be in the description below if you want to check them out. It'd be great to see you there, and I will probably be using the Elgato key light when you do that. And also, guys, I forgot to mention, you will find a link in the description below for all of these lights if you want to check them out. I will also add in the tripod that I've got for the Rolano light as well. And yeah, until next time, guys, keep gaming, keep safe, good night, GG.